Cheers to adulting.
I'm Ashley Barajas.
And I'm Abby Rosemarin.
And this is
Cheers to Adulting.
We got so fucking good at that.
Right? We got this down to a science, bitch.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Eat.
I love how the salt on the rim muffled the clink.
Yep. Right, so future advanced thank you to Patrick Blaskopf, who's going to have to do a lot of editing of coughs. I'm getting over a cold. Abby's like more still fresh off of her sickness.
Yeah, I'm 48 hours out of the worst of it.
Yeah. I was sick over, over a week now. I want to get a shirt. I basically infected, it's what, we all infected each other. So I went on Birthright. Holla.
What's up?
Get it? Holla.
Challah.
Holla. Yeah. So I went on Birthright, and yes, I am 32. That's because if you didn't know, all my fellow Jews out there, you can now go on Birthright because they added an age group of 27 to 32. Shout out to Sachlav. They're S-A-C-H-L-A-V, Sachlav. You got to do that. They're the organization that I went through for Tagli Birthright. It was amazing. I had such a fun time. I made so many new friends. It was really interesting, especially considering that I converted to Judaism and everyone else was basically born Jewish. But a lot of them were what's the majority of a lot of young Jews in America, they're Jewish. They're Jewish, but they don't really do anything. Maybe they'll go to temple on high holidays and that's it. So this was interesting to see all of those people, and they were on Birthright and them getting in touch with their roots. And the thing about being Jewish is it's not always necessarily, it's not a religious thing a lot of the times. It's more about a cultural thing. Yeah, so I want a shirt that says, I went to Israel and all I got was this clumsy cold.
And wonderful memories. I mean, come on.
And because we're still, it's just like we built such connections that some of the people in my Birthright group, we're still messaging each other in our WhatsApp group. And some people said, we should make a shirt that I went to Israel and all I got was Ashley's cold.
Oh no, we all got infected by Ashley. You're like that girl or the little boy who went to, Costa Rica and gave everybody measles because fucking anti-vaxxers. I'm sorry.
It was a British anti-vaxxer.
Yeah.
Because how is that a thing? British people, you're supposed to be smart.
You're supposed to be getting it like well, I guess they've got Brexit going on, so yeah, we're all fucking
but I won't
up.
shit on it. Well, although we have, one British listener, Bob. Hey,
Yeah.
Bob, what's up?
Bob, we love you. I don't
Tell
care
all
what
your friends about us.
Right? I don't care what you voted with the referendum. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, whatever. You do you, all right? So today we are drinking a pre-made margarita mix, because we fancy.
Right.
With a chili lime salt rim.
Which is good as fuck.
It's a nice rim job.
And a ching little rim shot. Rims are everywhere, baby.
Right? Salty, tart. It's like a rim job.
Whoa. I was about to say like my personality, but sure. Salty and tart.
Salty as fuck. Abby.
Yes.
Any adulting or non-adulting?
I will say that my adulting has been job searching.
Oh.
Yes. So
You mean like more yoga?
More yoga, more health and fitness stuff. So for those who've been listening for a while, first and foremost, I love you and thank you for following us. But you guys know that I am a yoga instructor, and about 3 or 4 months ago, I lost about 5 of my classes. One because a studio closed down. Another was basically just a toxic situation that I had to walk away from.
Yeah, fuck that place.
Yep, and you know, I'm not naming names. I wish everybody the best of.
But fuck you.
I would like to, for any lawyers listening, I was not the one who said that. So how are you? How
I did.
Y'all doing?
Fuck you.
There we go. But and at first it was really nice to kind of take a step back and kind of calm down a little bit. But at the same time, I did take a hit financially. And as nice as it was not to be basically driving around like a chicken with her head cut off for, 12 hours a day, Monday through Friday and sometimes Saturday, it's still, I was like, okay, I'm making less money now. I feel like, okay, what is my what next? And so I've been doing a little job searching. I have been looking for more yoga gigs, and I have started a few new yoga classes. I started up a class with a company that I've been working with off and on for the last, I want to say almost 3 years. No, it's actually more than 3 years at this point. And we started back up again. I'm going to be working with a condo place, like one of those condo communities.
Oh, nice.
And I'm gonna hang out in their little gym and rec room and be like, hey y'all, time to do some yoga. So I'm excited for those classes. But I've also been looking at exercise specialist jobs, health and fitness specialist jobs.
And we're gonna try and convince Abby that she should come work at my rock climbing gym.
I know, and I totally would if it wasn't like a 45 to 60 minute commute to get down there.
That's like my normal commute every day.
I know, but for like a 60-minute class, I mean, even if I went rock climbed afterwards, and
things.
I could teach all the things.
I'm a getter.
Right.
You watch.
It will probably happen, especially if it means I get to go rock climbing afterwards.
Right?
I fucking
For
love rock
free?
climbing. Yeah, full free. So
For free.
it might actually happen after all, but we will see on that one. But I would say that is my main one, is kind of hitting the ground running, job searching.
Nice.
So how about you, Ashley? What's your adulting?
Fuck, nothing.
Oh no.
I'm still trying to. I'm very #blessed. I didn't get any jet lag because I flew in at 6 a.m. God, everything's flying. What's today? Last week.
Tuesday.
On a Tuesday. And then I took a bus and then another bus to get from New York to Boston to New Hampshire. And I got home in the evening. It was early enough for dinner, and I was just exhausted. Fortunately, Michael was a godsend. He was like, "Are you hungry? Do you want dinner? I have food." And I was hungry enough that I needed food, but I was so tired. And it took off the next day. So, and I had slept on the plane from Israel to America. So it was just I kind of got to a normal sort of time schedule. Because it was 1 a.m. and we arrived at 6 a.m. There's a cat walking behind me.
Cat ass.
Yeah, and then I took off Wednesday, so I was able to just let my body wake up when it needed to wake up, which was early.
Early as fuck.
And so I was like, well, I guess time to wake and bake and pop some Mucinex.
There we go.
And organize the kitchen, because I came home to walls and cabinets gone in the kitchen because Michael was doing some demolition.
And that's no exaggeration. I came in here today and was like, there is not a wall here anymore.
And he moved the fridge. Mm-hmm. It looks good. But there were kitchen drawers full of stuff on the counters. And I was like, this is not happening. I need to find places for these things.
That's a heaping pile of nope, everybody.
A heaping pile of nope. Big ol' nope. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, right, long story short, the suitcase is still here. It's been a week. I mean, pretty much all the clothes are out of it. I've washed all the laundry. I still need to put away all the laundry.
To me, that is unpacking. If you take the clothing out of the suitcase, you have unpacked. It doesn't matter if it's just scattered everywhere or in a laundry bin or anything. You unpacked, it counted, you're a rock star.
I still have anxiety because I also agreed to host a cooking class here for young menches, which is basically a networking, like, social sort of group for Jews in their 20s to, like, early 40s in New Hampshire. And my house is a goddamn mess. So that's fun. That's my non-adulting for the week.
You know what? After doing some
You've
international...
got, like,
I can
salt
feel
on
it.
your lips, and there's, like, a little, like, piece of pepper in your teeth.
I am spicy
Wait, let
today,
me see.
everybody.
No, you got it.
All right. And here I was
You
about
got
to
them
say...
big old DSL lips. So.
You know
Although
what?
I guess that's like saying like chai tea, like TT, DSL. That's like dick sucking lips.
Yeah. Lip. You know what? That's it's like your ATM machine and your PIN number and your DSL lips. But
ATM number?
or ATM
Wait.
machine, PIN number,
Oh,
personal identification number.
I see.
Yeah. The DSL, everybody.
Good story.
Great talk, everybody. Great talk.
Today, we will be talking about cars.
Woohoo! Everybody's favorite topic, unless you actually are into cars. Then, woohoo! This is the episode for you.
So this is my least favorite episode I've had to do research for. So much procrastination. It was fucking torture.
This was definitely out of both of our wheelhouses. I feel like the only way it could have been harder is if we had to do like taxes or financing.
Yeah, only one. So one of the topics I touched on this episode, I was interested about because I listened to a How Stuff Works podcast about it, and I was like, oh, I'm so like fucking passionate about it.
I have this one topic that's awesome.
Yeah, and then I had to do other topics, and I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah, but we're gonna do our two topics a
Yeah.
piece, and hopefully y'all will learn something. We're gonna do you a knowledge.
Yeah, do your knowledge. So I'll go ahead and start.
Go ahead.
So I'll start with what I'm I'll start with what I'm passionate about, and it'll just all go downhill from there. Cars. So the truth about changing your oil. Okay. So as I was saying, I recently-ish. It's been a while since we recorded an episode. Hopefully you're listening and you didn't give up on us. So it's a short stuff episode of stuff you should know, like real throwback old episode of stuff you should know. So we are not affiliated with howstuffworks.com or any of the podcasts.
They're just really cool.
I fucking love them. They're great. They have so many good podcasts. If you like learning new things, definitely check them out. So anyway, they did a game-changing episode on how often you should actually get your oil changed. So first of all, you know how when you get your oil changed, they put that sticker to remind you, like, come back on this date or whatever.
Yep.
That's a load of bullshit. Okay? So these stickers try and get you to change your oil every 3 months or every 3,000 miles. So that is no longer the case. How often you get your oil change should be determined by your car's owner manual. Each car's owner manual is different. It also depends on your driving patterns. Some cars only need changes every 10,000 miles. So changing your oil sooner than needed, it's not going to hurt your car, but it's a waste of time and money. So these are the 4 main recommended intervals for oil changes based on fact, and I pulled a lot of this from the How Stuff Works. So every 1,000 miles or every 6 months, every 3,000 miles, every 5,000 to 7,500 miles, every 10,000 to 15,000 miles, or every 6 months. So people who would fall into the every 1,000 miles category would be people who don't drive as much or who are doing just short trips. So if you aren't making long trips at high steady speeds like you would on a highway, then your engine isn't getting hot enough to boil off condensation that accumulates in the system that can cause oil to break down faster. Most of the wear and tear on your engine occurs when you're starting your car. And if you aren't driving very far, most of your driving is of the type that is very hard on the engine. More frequent oil changes will help minimize the damage. If your car's manufacturer recommends synthetic oil, or you decide to make the switch, you could go as many as 10,000 miles or more between oil changes. Though synthetic oil is much more expensive than regular oil, it has more benefits. It performs better than regular oil, and it's better for the environment, which is reason enough for me. It is a little more expensive, but all points in favor to synthetic.
Yeah.
Does that English enough?
Yeah, you know what? It worked for me.
Perfect. So short and sweet, long and short of it, you're more than likely changing your oil too often. Waste of your fucking money. So check your owner manual and think about, are you doing short trips, long trips, whatever. Think about it. All right?
Right.
And that, my friends, is the long and short of it. That was a lot quicker than I thought it was going to be.
I loved it, though. It was the short and short of it.
Fun story. I am well overdue for an oil change.
You know what? It is.
I don't feel as guilty, though.
Exactly. And honestly, as, again, the yoga instructor who drives all over fucking tarnation, I used to do that every 3,000 miles, and I actually got guilted by a Midas guy who was just like, you need to be taking care of your car, or like, because he saw that the last time I was in there, it was like, 4,000 or 5,000 miles previously, and I was like, oh my God, I got to be doing every 3,000 miles because my car is like my livelihood and blah, blah, blah. I don't do that shit anymore. I wait until the little oil light comes on in my car.
Well,
which
you shouldn't wait till then.
That's true. But
I know, that's me. I'm like, well, my oil light hasn't come on yet, but you should do it before then. But definitely fuck that Midas guy.
Exactly. Don't literally. He is not going to get the sexual favors from me thanks to that.
Yeah.
But as I learned, Subaru actually does better, because I have a Subaru, everybody. What's up, Subs? It's 9,000 miles. So that is ideally, I try to keep an eye out for 9,000 miles, but I'm lazy as fuck, so it's when the oil light's on.
Yeah. Mine hasn't come on yet, but my goal is to get my oil changed before that.
There we go.
Because then I'm going to be like, God damn it, Ashley.
Right.
God damn it.
God damn. And now we're going to go from the wonderful world of oil to the wonderful world of gas. So I'm just going to mention quickly some ways that can actually improve your gas mileage. Some of these things you probably already know, some of these you might not know of. Bear with me regardless. So the first one, and I think this is one of the most common ones, is make sure your tires are at the correct pressure. A little over is actually okay, but you also don't want to overinflate your tires either. We don't want this to be overinflate gate of Green Bay, and we don't want this to be deflate gate of frickin' Patriots. Like you want the proper amount of flate gate. I tried.
I know
that one, guys.
enough about football and what's the word I'm like? Fuck, I drank
Sports
too much
ball,
today.
everybody.
Damn it.
Tequila.
About
Topical
common
events.
Things. Yeah, topical events. That's good.
You know about the sports ball and all that stuff.
The sports ball.
So the next one is be chill about starting and stopping your car while you're driving. You do not want to be fucking NASCAR speeding off. You also don't want to be slamming on your brakes. The reason why big truckers take forever to speed up is not to fuck with you and make you like go out of your fucking mind, even though it feels like it when you're behind them at a red light. It's actually because it is more fuel efficient, and something of that size, speeding up a little bit, even just a tiny amount, is going to guzzle way more gas than if they just take their jolly good time. So likewise, don't put pedal to the metal. Allow yourself to slowly speed up.
But I want to.
I know. Well, I mean, if you're
I gotta cut out that person in the merging lane.
Exactly. You know what? They're not respecting the zipper, so I gotta speed the fuck up. And sometimes that's okay. It's like, you know what? I'm gonna use that extra gas, but it's worth it.
Worth it.
But likewise with stopping, you want to learn to start coasting a little bit. And just think about that. You took your foot off the gas pedal. You're cruising. You're saving some gas money by just being like, I'm going to cruise for a little bit, drop 5-10 miles, and just let the natural weight of my car slow me down. And then I'll hit the brake. You're going to save gas that way.
I use cruise control every day.
Heyo.
Every day.
Cruise control is pretty wonderful.
I'm also like driving 35 miles for like what my commute's like 50 minutes every day.
Yeah, you need
one
one way and then 50. And honestly, cruise is wonderful, especially if you're someone like me, where depending on what you're listening to, what you're talking
you
about,
go fast.
like you start speeding up. Like, I kid you not, quick digression. My husband and I were driving home at roughly the same time last night. And we got to the point that I was like right behind him, and and we're talking on the phone too, and we have like little Bluetooth
And you're
speakers
right
and
in
all
front
that.
of each other.
And
You guys are so gross.
we're fucking disgusting. Again, people who've listened to this podcast for a while know about me and my codependent marriage. But
No regrets.
No regrets, not even one letter. But he could tell that I was getting worked up in the conversation we were talking about. Like, we were talking about something that I just naturally start getting very passionate about. And he was like, you want to take it, take 10% off the top there. And I was like, why? Because you can tell I'm getting heated up. He's like, you're starting to tailgate me. I was like, oh, sorry. Let me get my foot off that gas pedal real quick. So, if you're like me, it's really nice because it will regulate for you. But anyways, other things. You want to have clean air filters. A clogged filter can muck up your gas mileage by as much as 20%. Likewise, AC is a gas killer. So have the windows down when you can, unless you're on the highway, because then windows can cause drag. And no, I am not talking about RuPaul. So and going back to
Also, why would you want to have the windows open on the highway?
that is just some shit.
It's like ear popping shit. And you
Right?
can't hear any music.
You can't hear any music. You have to have your hair in like a tight ballet bun. I actually made the mistake once of rolling down my windows. I think I just really needed some fresh air. And I had a couple papers on my passenger side and they were fucking gone. And I was so pissed off at myself. And I'm like, I have to go home. I have to print these out again. I'm so lesson learned. I don't roll down my windows on the highway no matter what now. So, and also it causes air drag and it's going to fuck up your gas mileage. Likewise, the type of motor oil that you are using can affect your gas mileage.
Tie-in.
Right? Look at that. We're getting some overlap up in this bitch.
Your hands look like
I know. See, this is why you have to watch the YouTube video, is because the faces we make, the hand gestures,
how pretty
the kitty.
we are.
I know, right? Look at this. I put on
Or
mascara.
how pretty Abby is.
Oh, shucks. And how pretty Ashley is. Come on now. I put on mascara for your bitches, all right? I put on some mascara. Anyway.
I put on a whole face. I'm breaking out because my period's coming in.
Right, which is just
So
wonderful. Sad. Women feel so wonderful right before a period.
And I had no self-control with some stuff going on my chin, and I was like, ugh.
Oh, there's no such thing as self-control at that point. It's just like, no, I'm gonna scar my face, but I don't care. That's going, and I will.
YOLO.
Right? Casualty of war, bitch. Anyways, that can affect your gas mileage up to 12%. So you want to use motor oils that are high in reducing friction. Either use a synthetic oil, as we were chatting about, or the oil that the car's manual recommends. So another thing you want to do is you want to avoid idling your car. This actually includes warming it up. And I know it's February, it's fucking cold as shit. They say if you want to do that to warm up the car for your personal benefit, so you go into a warm car, that's cool. Just recognize that you're
wasting gas.
You're wasting gas to do it, but you don't need to do it for your engine. So if you're the type of person who turns on your car, so you really don't need to warm up your car.
I feel
for
like
your
my
engine.
whole life, my parents are like, oh, don't start your car too early, blah, 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 when it's cold outside or whatever.
And that's what I heard too. And it is true that if it's really cold, your car kind of has a hard time with a little get up and go, but it's not going to hurt the engine to do that. They say anything more than 30 seconds is a waste. So maybe, if it's sub-zero, you don't start your car and try to blast 60 miles down the road. Maybe that's not the best idea, but anything more than 60 seconds and you're kind of just wasting gas.
I'm lazy anyway. I feel like it's more of an effort to come downstairs, get my keys, and I can remotely start it, but it's at this point that winter's been so long that I just
I'm used to it.
Put on my shit, get in the car, start the car, and then go.
Right? I always say I don't have a remote starter. I have a key fob that reminded me that I could have remote started my car. That's really, that extra like $800 when I bought my car was totally worth it. Anyways, so another thing is the type of gas. Premium gas doesn't necessarily mean more gas mileage. You want to go with the recommended gas for your car, which might actually just be regular unleaded.
I was wasting money, like at first, because I was out of habit because my old car required premium gas. And then Michael had got a new car and he was like, oh, I'm going to save so much money on gas, even though he got a truck from a Subaru, because now it needed like unleaded, regular, whatever. And then it was like after he got his thing and I said that I was getting premium, he was like, why? And then I looked at my owner's manual, I was like, God, I'm such a dumbass.
I wasted so much money.
I know. And now I save so much money. I get to pick the cheapest gas.
Hell yeah. Nothing wrong with being cheap, y'all.
Yup.
So this one might be one of those obvi ones, but avoid roof racks, storage containers. All those things create drag. And I think most of us know that. Like, you put something on top of your roof and all of a sudden it's basically like just a big solid parachute. And now here's one that I am amazed about. So this is less about gas mileage and more about more bang for your buck when it comes to gas in your car. You want to pump your gas in the morning. So you want to do early in the morning. And the reason for that is the ground is cold in the morning because, you know, just spent the whole freaking night, nice cold. Even in the summertime, it's colder in the morning. And when the ground is cold, the petrol, the gas that is stored underground usually is a little more dense. And so during the day, that heats up and it starts expanding. And here's a really interesting that I didn't know. Gas pumps, they're not actually measuring volume. They time it. They actually, like, they base it on, okay, the flow rate is such and such. So every so many seconds, we're gonna say it's a gallon. So if you're doing it early in the morning, you're putting more dense gas into your car and you are saving money on that. And it's not a crazy amount of money, but if you are doing it every time you go get gas, you do it only in the morning, you can save upwards of $10 a month on that.
I'm fucking shook.
Right? Y'all, I done you some knowledge right here.
I'm fucking shook. That's
right?
like the new word that I gained from birthright. Thanks, Nicole.
Right.
Shook.
Fucking shook.
I'm shook.
And the nice thing is, though, you're learning this in February / March. So if you're having a hard time remembering to do it in the morning, maybe you're more of a like, whenever the gas light comes on, if you're like me, it's like,
that's me.
Right? What's up? When the gas light comes on, and even then I'm like looking at the miles to empty and I'm like, ooh, I got one more location in before I have to go to that gas.
I have permanently on my display, like you have all these options to look at, like what's playing on your music, yada, yada, yada. Mine is how many miles to empty. That's what I have on consistent. And sometimes I'll be like, and like I'll put in, even though I don't need to know how to get home, I can see what gas is on the way. And it shows me like the cheapest, how many miles away it is, like how many miles off of my route it is. And I'll like calculate between like, all right, how many miles do I have left in my car and what's the cheapest? And so if you don't have Waze, download Waze. Oh. Even if you don't need it, because it's fucking game changing. One, if you need it for direct, like, sure, Google's Maps is great or whatever. Apple Maps,
yeah.
so shit.
Apple Maps is the worst.
The worst. Waze, Israelis know what's up, okay? They know Waze is up.
Right.
But yeah, it's fucking game changing because it will tell you, you can set it to, because you can add a stop on your way. It'd be like, oh, I need to stop at the grocery store, or I need to stop at the pharmacy, or I need to get gas. And it'll say add a stop on your drive to what your ultimate destination is. And especially for the gas, it constantly is looking up gas on your route and looking up gas prices. And I'll say, is this as of that date? And so you can see what's the cheapest gas options out there, which is always saving me. And I'll be like, because the cheapest gas is more often than not like right by my house. And I'm like, can I make it the 35 miles?
Right. Oh, I do the same thing. Like I always drive into areas that have high gas prices. And so it's like, I'll see the light come on and I'm like 35, 40 miles
Or I'll
from
be
home.
like, I'll put in 2 gallons.
Just enough
I'll be
to
like,
get me.
1 gallon's like 35 miles. I was like, I'm going to do like 1.5 gallons.
There we go. It gets
just to get to the cheaper gas.
Exactly. You know what? We're just doing our best. We're saving our pennies.
Yeah.
So that is that on the gas mileage.
All right.
What do you got for us?
Not much long. This is where I got bored. No, it was
Nothing wrong with that.
The thing is that, all right, so the topic is roadside assistant. The issue here is that the search that you get is going to be flooded with biased results of roadside assistant programs. Roadside assistance, it's a good thing to have for the most part, all right? So you've got all these different things like, I'll just talk about my own personal experience real quick. So my old car, I miss so much. It was a Chevy Volt. It was amazing. So Chevy, that car like was OnStar capable. And if your car is OnStar capable, fucking get it. It's fucking game changing. Also, more often than not, your car insurance will give you a discount if you have it. So the moment that I was like, thank fucking God. So I used to be a nanny. And I went grocery shopping with the 2 girls, and I had them put them both in the car, and I'd only opened the trunk to put in the groceries. I had the kid. I put the groceries in the trunk, and my keys were in the bag, in one of the grocery bags. Close the trunk. And then I was like, oh shit, the car is locked. Me and baby, what are we gonna do? So then I'm like, I'm gonna look on my phone. OnStar can unlock my fucking car from my phone.
What's up, bitch?
Yeah, amazing. Save the day. And then from then on, I realized that I could also start my car remotely. I could unlock it remotely. So awesome. Yeah, super helpful. And OnStar gave you directions, which is great if like I had no reception or I was out of data. So yeah, OnStar, super great. Anyway, benefits, reasons why you should get roadside assistance. Scenario, your car gets a flat tire and you either A, don't know how to change a tire, B, don't have a spare tire on hand, C, don't know how to fix a flat from shit, or you don't have that fix a flat foam shit. That's what I meant. So it's moments like these where having some form of roadside assistance could help you. So roadside assistance typically provides services like towing, fixing a flat tire, maybe your battery is dead, so they'll like jump start it for you. You're locked out. You run out of gas because you're an asshole like me and Abby. So all of these are like typical adulting mishaps that you might have. So there are other things to consider with getting roadside assistance as I was doing my research, like why you should or shouldn't get it. Like if you have a very short commute, like it's a 10-minute drive, and there's like an auto body shop in that, and like you don't drive often. Perhaps like when I used to live in Somerville and it was a 10-minute drive for work and I was all commuting within the same city, roadside assistant might not be very useful unless maybe you make frequent trips out of state or whatever. Because then it might outweigh the costs that you could just like get friendly with the auto body shop that's within it, and they can tow you, and so that would be a reason why you wouldn't need to. So you might not need to get it if you have a new car or a used car with an extended warranty. It might be included underneath that. Yeah, so there's lots of roadside, so very short, brief, because I couldn't be bothered to do any more research.
Y'all, we're keeping it real here, keeping it 100.
So there's a lot of roadside assistant programs out there. I would recommend shopping around for what benefits you. I saw a lot of people on the interwebs saying that they definitely do not recommend getting roadside assistant programs through your car insurance company because using it so say you were using a tow through the roadside assistance that you got through your car insurance company, they might record that as a claim, making it difficult if you wanted to change carriers. So, yeah.
That's some shit.
10 out of 10 would not recommend. So get it through something else. Obviously, the biggest one that we think of, AAA.
Yep.
Okay? I haven't really heard anything bad about AAA, and the thing is that AAA offers you more than, and we're not sponsored by AAA.
Yeah.
Okay? I don't have AAA. I
No.
probably need to get another roadside assistance program. While I was thinking about this, I was like, things that I need to adult about. They offer things like discounts on like a hotel room and like Disney World or whatever. Basically all the things I associated with old people as a kid. Be like, oh, do you have a AAA discount?
Right.
But now that I'm older, like, hook a girl up with them geriatric-like discounts.
Right. I'll take it.
Book me up with them discounts.
That early bird special.
Yeah. So I found some information, just so you know, on valuepenguin.com, roadside assistance, car insurance stuff.
Nice.
So yeah, roadside assistance is definitely a good thing. If you don't know how to change a tire, if you are prone to lots of adulting mishaps as a car owner.
Right. Boring as fuck to research about, but pretty awesome to have.
Yup.
But on the same topic, kind of, sort of, what happens if you don't have roadside assistance or you are outside of cell service and you need to change a tire? So this is actually something that...
Stick out your leg and your thumb. Everybody knows that the knee is the sexiest part of a man.
I mean, fuck yeah. Like, look at that sexy joint.
I made that joke a lot on Birthright because one of the guys on my trip had the zip pants to shorts, and so I was making fun of him, and I found a funny meme of two white guys with the zip pant cargo
I know
things.
exactly what you're talking about.
So he'd be like, hey Ashley, and he like zip exposed like his knee.
Oh, the sexy knee.
And so I came up with a joke. I was like, we all know that the knee is the sexiest part of a man's body.
I mean, I'm already turned on just talking about men's knees. But anyways, so if you don't have sexy men knees or AAA or your cell service, or you know what, you just want to change your own fucking tire.
Nope.
Right? It's a whole lot of nope. It fucking sucks to change a tire, but it's also
You gotta
good.
do what you gotta do.
Sometimes you gotta do it. And the funniest thing is that it's actually really easy once you know what you're doing. So I'm just gonna go really quickly over how to change a tire. So the first thing is to have the important items. It doesn't mean jack shit if you know how to change a tire.
Was that punny?
Oh, jack shit.
A jack.
Because that is the first thing you need is a jack. And if you don't have it, then you ain't gonna do jack shit. I stumbled into that pun. Those are the best puns.
I led you in there.
You did. I appreciate it. You led me into a wonderful pun.
Changing a tire.
Right?
So you don't know jack shit, you gotta have a jack, otherwise ain't gonna happen.
Exactly. You need a jack, you need a lug wrench, you need a fully inflated spare tire. Big fucking thing you need. Trust me on this one.
So that's obviously not gonna happen with me.
Right? And your vehicle owner's manual. Trust me on this one, it's actually important to have that manual on hand.
I got that.
Right? Some other
That's the only thing I got.
Right? What's up? So some other recommended things are things like a rain poncho. Well, because what if you have to do it in the rain?
Rains, yeah.
It's like, it's not fun to change your tire. Or, you know, I was going to go down a route on doing it in the rain. I'm going to keep that comment to myself.
Okay. Got it. Cool.
So, oh God, of course, this is the next one. A small piece of wood. A 2-inch by 6-inch. So the 2 is the width, guys. You ever want proof God has a sense of humor? Like, the order of these notes is, like, I'm not making this shit up. This is life. So that is to help secure the jack.
Oh, yes.
And they also include recommend gloves and wheel wedges. So first things first, make sure you are in a safe location. If not, keep driving until you are. mucking up your alignment / axis is far less important than making sure you don't get run over. Like, y'all, like, weigh the pros and cons on that one. You also want to make sure you put on your hazards and put on your fucking parking brake. You do not want your car to roll off the jack. You want to get that shit as secure as possible. And that's also where the those wheel wedges come in, that you would put wheel wedges under whatever side that you are not about to jack up to keep shit in place. So first things first, you want to take off the hubcap if the hubcap is over the lug nuts. Oh boy, yeah, lug nuts, y'all. We're gonna have some giggles about the lug nuts. Otherwise, you're gonna loosen the lug nuts, because sometimes you get some tight lug nuts and you want to loosen them up.
Got it. Cool.
So that actually can take a little bit of elbow grease to loosen those lug nuts. But you want to do just enough to break their resistance, like any lug nuts. So it is about half a turn, and you might have to use force, you might have to put your whole body into it. That is okay. And the next thing, and this is actually something I never would have thought of, I would have done this first, but you actually want to do it after you loosen the lug nuts. That is when you jack the car. That is when you place it under the side where the flat is, and this is where that wood comes in. If you have wood, but if it's only 2 inches, go home. If you have that wood, you place it under the jack, and then you jack your car up. And make sure no part of your body is under the car while raising it. I know that sounds stupid, but if you are kind of lost in your own world, you might not realize, hey, my arm is under the car while I'm jacking. While I'm jacking it. And nobody wants an accident while you're jacking it. Oh boy.
Great.
This is, you know what? This is taking such a wonderful turn. When I was researching this and making my notes, I had no clue that it would go down this route, and I'm so happy it did.
It's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
It is such a beautiful thing. So after you're done jacking it, you want to remove the tire and then replace it. You want to tighten those lug nuts first by hand. Sometimes you just got to do it manually by hand, and then you use the tools.
Fondle.
Exactly.
Fondle those lug nuts.
Exactly. You know what? Sometimes using a tool first is a little too much. You want to use the hands, like, right? But then you use your lug wrench and you tighten those lug nuts.
Yeah. Show those nuts who's boss.
Right? But you want to, and now I should make sure to point out in all this talk of innuendo, I forgot to mention, they're in between tightening them by hand and tightening them by a lug wrench. You actually stop jacking it. I cannot believe that I forgot to tell you guys that.
So good.
You need to stop jacking it. You need to de-jack your car, if you will. You need to bring it back down to the ground, but not all the way. So you want to de-jack all the way. You just want to bring it down just enough, just to the edge, just so those tires are touching the ground, but the full
Just
weight is
edge
on
it.
it. Yeah, you just want to put it on the edge.
Edging.
Exactly. You want to do some edging, and then you tighten by the tool. And after you're done tightening by the tool, fucking finish that jacking off.
It was like a version of me teaching you how to fold a fitted sheet.
Basically, only, we're going from sheets to cars, and somehow it's just sexy across the board. And then after that, you are done. Other things that are important to know, if you are on the highway and facing the road, do not replace. I repeat, do not replace. Like, you are done. Abort the mission. Hang out there.
Do not pass go.
Exactly. Do not collect $200 or you're going to get fucking hit by somebody in the granny lane. Put on your hazards. A state trooper is going to find you. If you have cell service, that's a great time to call. You know what? You can even call 911 and say, you know what? I have a roadside emergency. You can fucking Google if you need to Google. But you do not want to be on the side of the road doing a driver's side tire change.
Tire fix.
It doesn't matter if you like really park off the shoulder and you angle the car. No, just don't fucking do it. No. You are not gonna get run over. Not on my watch. That really is like, at that point, Call AAA. Wait for the state trooper. Just do not risk it.
And you can sign up for AAA mid-crisis. You have to. So I think it's regardless of when you start it, you pay a startup fee of some sort, but you can pay a startup fee and sign up for AAA on the spot and be like, I should have fucking done it. I should have listened to Ashley and Abby.
Right.
Should have got AAA or something.
Right.
You can call, sign up. I need help now. Here's my credit card.
Right. And then they'll be like, what's up? We'll help you. But that is that. And you know what? Once you're done jacking it and playing with your lug nuts, then you can fucking go home to your happy ending.
Yes.
But that was not a Robert Kraft joke, all right? It's funny because those
It's
women's...
funny because it's true.
It's funny because human trafficking. Oh, boy.
Oh.
Ooh, la, la, la,
It
la.
just got in a dark place.
We're going to end that one on a dark, dark note.
So I'm kind of drunk. So thank you for listening.
Follow us.
Follow us on our Instagram page. Cheers to Adulting
Podcast.
Follow our Instagram follow our Twitter that's never being used.
Cheers
number 2, adulting.
Yep, adulting. Not to, hey, you know what? I've had as many drinks.
Yeah.
So.
Feel free to send any queries, comments, questions, etc. To our email address, cheers2adulting@gmail.com. Watch us.
I
told you I'm drunk, kid. Watch us on YouTube.
We're at the YouTubes,
Cheers
bitch.
to Adulting is our podcasting YouTube page.
And don't forget to rate and subscribe and review
On Apple Podcasts.
That's right.
Because that's where it really matters.
It really does.
It doesn't matter if you listen on Spotify or Stitcher
Right.
or anything.
Take a moment, put up the iTunes.
Get
Right?
some.
Like, hold those lug nuts.
Hold those
them.
long nuts while
Those
you're
long
jacking
nuts
it.
with your 2-inch wood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hot mess. Stay tuned to our next episode, which we will be talking about period health.
Which
Male,
will be a bloody
female,
mess.
in between. Yeah. Oh, nice throw. Our Thinks panties, we'll be trying these on because we'll probably have our period before the next episode.
Yeah, we will.
What?
In the vagina.
Mensy twins. Because periods aren't gross. And you
Right.
can have some really good sex with it.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Dope. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, wait, do you have any in there?
I have enough.
Here, I'll give you a splash.
All right. Also, do you have any in there?
Cheers.
That's what she said. Cheers.
Cheers to adulting.